This video is sponsored by .deck.co.uk, the place to be when it comes to all the stuff you need for the Pokemon trading card game. They have singles, complete competitive decks, and even some epic sleeves and deck boxes to pimp out your deck completely. So if there's still something you miss in order to go to a certain tournament or league, go take a look at .deck.co.uk. Yeah, I'm back to give you a new rap and some information just like that. I was away for 2 weeks, it hasn't been too long, but still people ask me where the hell I've gone. Anyway, don't get me wrong, I love the support, but the time has been too short. It takes effort to make videos like this, they will be up, so don't ever miss every single bit of happiness. And if I don't have the time for this, go check out Team Sano, cause we all know Poké-Tubing has been evolving for years and years, yo. So it looks so clear that everyone is doing their best right here to spread the word. I'm not going anywhere. Where'd you heard that? That's just absurd. Can I get an encore? Do you want more new videos on my channel, y'all? So if you've been waiting for this, click the like button and I'll never quit. Come on, yo, what the hell are you waiting for? Episode 59 is here, which means I ain't going anywhere. I'll just stay right here. Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG and I'm finally back with another episode. This time we're at episode 59 and I'll be looking over the World Championship that was held in Hawaii, and then we'll also take a look at a fairly cheap new Dragon deck which will be quite playable in the new format. Alright, so Worlds 2012 is now over, and with more than 30 countries that competed, the competition was really awesome and so were the prizes. Those were really epic as well. Anyway, the winner in the Master Division was none other than the player from Portugal named Igor Costa. I don't know if I pronounced the names correctly, so you can just post it in the comment section if I pronounce them incorrectly. So he was playing a Darkrai X Mewtwo deck, and yeah, he put in some Terrakions in there, and the decision to put in the Terrakions gave him the edge in most matches like Zekrom Electric and the other Darkrai mirror matches. He also make use of Super Scoop Up, and that definitely gave him the edge in the matchups I mentioned. And then in the other divisions, we have the Senior Division. It was a Zekrom Electric deck that came out on top, and Chase Maloney from Canada definitely had success with the deck. And lastly, Shudo Itagaki from Japan became first in the Junior Division, and it was a Terrakion Mewtwo deck that was used. So we can conclude that Mewtwo EX, Darkrai X, Eels, and Terrakion were the most used decks, and Mewtwo EX is so splashable that everyone can put it in their deck. And with the new 10s coming out, Mewtwo EX isn't going anywhere. Then we have Terrakion, being the terrifying bull as we all know him, but as I'll have to call him, the worst nightmare for Lightning and Darkness decks. Also, he made a great showing at Worlds, and of course the hyped card Darkrai X saw great playability. If you saw the final match in the Master Division, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so where was I at Worlds? Well, to be honest, I couldn't afford to go to Worlds. I had the invite from becoming second at my nationals, but yeah, I couldn't afford to go. We had to play for the trip ourselves in Belgium, and I did, however, get the invite, but that alone made this TCG year for me. That was, yeah, quite an honor to get an invite on the first year that I started playing. Aside to that, I want to thank everyone that has been supporting me since the very beginning, because this channel is also growing more and more every day. So yeah, again, thanks for that. And now, with Worlds behind us, we can look to a new season, 2013, where we see Black and White Encore, so EXs will be dominant like never before, but there's also a deck that doesn't necessarily need any EXs. So for beginning players, open up your ears. The new deck that I'm talking about revolves around Garchomp and Altaria. Both are cards from the new set, Dragon X Zelda, which is available in most stores right now, so it'll be quite cheap to build. So Garchomp is a stage 2, so why is it so good? Well, on its own, Garchomp can deal 60 damage for a single fighting energy, and that also discards a special energy card attached to the defending Pokemon as a side effect. So that attack alone is quite brutal for the energy cost. Then he also has a second attack for an additional water energy. It deals 100 damage, and the downside is that you have to discard the top 2 cards from your deck. But if you really want to knock out a Pokemon with the extra damage like that, then this is the attack you want to use. This is the attack will be used in a certain stage of the game to get the cheap price cards that way. Let's say you use the first attack, and then after that you use the second attack to get a knockout. So another great thing about this card is the retreat cost, because with a low attack cost and a low retreat cost, this card doesn't need any switches and stuff like that. The only bad thing is that all dragons are weak to themselves, so I predict a dragon war in the near future. So if you play with dragons in a mirror match, you'll definitely want to have the edge, and a card that might help you out with this is a secret rare Rayquaza, which is being sold at a ridiculous price at the moment because it can knock out baby dragons like Gibble, and even the Swablu, the normal type, for example. It only has 40 HP, so it deals 40 for a single energy, and it's a dragon, so 2 dragons that deals 80 damage, and that's the reason it's so expensive. Also, the fact that it's only available as a secret rare makes it quite hard to obtain, so you won't come across it very often. But let's see, players that actually put money into their deck will definitely use this Rayquaza to donk. Aside from that, let's go back to the deck I was reviewing. So as I said, Garchomp is a decent card, but with the help of Altaria, it gets better. Altaria has the ability to boost the attack power of the attacks of your dragons by 20 for each Altaria with that ability in play on your side of the field, that is. So let's say you have 3 Altarias on your bench, and you can deal 60 extra damage with all the attacks of your dragons. So if you play with Garchomp, you'll easily deal 100 damage for a single energy with 2 Altarias out, and that's why it's so good. But it gets better thanks to Gabite, which is the stage 1 of this evolution line. You can get your dragons out much faster because it states once during your turn you may search your deck for a dragon type Pokemon and put it in your hand. So that's what I call easy getting out stage 1s and stage 2s, get out Altarias, Garchomps and stuff like that. So what else can be put into this deck aside to Rayquaza? Let's say Emolga. Yeah, Emolga will be used as a staple because without Dual Ball Collector, you'll definitely want to have your basics on turn 1, and that's why Emolga is so good. It'll be one of the best starters in the new format because it can bring out basics and having free retreat as well, and it brings out 2 basics with its first attack, Call for Family, for a single Carlet energy. You can put 2 basics onto your bench, and that way you can set up for later on. And another card that I suggest is the one Shining Rayquaza I mentioned, because you can dunk, it'll be your ideal opening to dunk. As I said, you can just knock out some Gibbles, knock out some Swablus. So in the mirror matches, Rayquaza will be the one to use, but it needs a lightning energy. So how will it work in a deck with water and fighting energies? Well, that's where the new blend energy comes into mind, because it counts as the right types: lightning, water, fighting, and metal. And the types you want to use is lightning, water, and fighting, so they're all part of that energy card, and that's why it's another card I recommend. And that's all for another deck analysis. I hope you enjoyed it, and now let's take a look at some Poké-News. There's the Keldeo EX box, which will be coming out and begin October, but I already explained that in a Team Sinnoh video. If you don't know what Team Sinnoh is, it's a group channel we created with let's say Slayer MCA, Wuthering Grass, HSF144, and 801 Infernape. So check that out. It'll be in the link below in the description. Next up are some Japanese scans from the 7 Japanese Black and White set, Plasma Gale, and they're gonna bring Team Plasma Pokemon into the trading card game. And here we have some examples. As you see under the HP, it says Team Plasma's Pokemon, and then you can also find a symbol in the middle of the card to recognize it's a Team Plasma Pokemon card. Here is Crobat, for example, which has the ability to draw a card once during your turn, so it's sort of like the same ability or the Pokepower like knocked out from her Gold Soul Silver. It also has free retreat, and it can deal severe poison with its attack, which has the effect that states the defending Pokemon that was poisoned by this attack receives 4 damage counters instead of 1 between turns. So it's quite a good card, considering there's a stadium card out there to boost the poison effect even more, and it has free retreat, so it's a good card all around. Next is a Klinklang, and this one has the effect to prevent damage done to all your metal Pokemon by EXs. So it's an EX wall, and it's quite deadly in decks that only use EXs and their deck as attackers, so that's really great. And then we also have some other news. There's a Tropical Beach card from Worlds, which has a new artwork, and people that went to Worlds will definitely be happy to have this unique card, because there is a limited amount of Tropical Beach cards out there. And now we can go to some more Japanese scans. Back to Team Plasma with a Team Plasma Energy, which provides 1 Carless energy, which might seem terrible, but I assume there will be attacks that actually need the energy to attack, like Lugia EX, which I'll be talking about later on. Up next is a Carless Machine, which is a Team Plasma item card, and that lets you search your deck for a Team Plasma energy card and attach it to a Team Plasma Pokemon. So as you see, the special energy card looks bad, but with the help of other cards, it'll definitely be useful. And we also have energy acceleration available thanks to this Carless Machine. And for those of you that wonder, will there be Team Plasma EXs? Yep, here's Lugia EX, and yep, this is a EX I predicted because it was on the booster pack cover. I was right, as I mentioned. This is the first Team Plasma EX, and it's a big one indeed, 180 HP, only 2 or 3 that have fighting resistance, and an ability that states for each of your opponent's Pokemon that is knocked out by Lugia EX, you may take an extra prize card. So this reminds us of Rayquaza and Deoxys Legend, but this card is obviously better, so everything is looking good. I'm kind of worried about the lightning weakness, but with the eel swimming around still, but it does have an attack that can be used quite fast with Plasma Energy Acceleration and even some DCEs, so the attack, you can even deal it on turn 1 if you have the cards in your hand. It deals 120 damage for 4 colorless energies, and the side effect is discard 1 Plasma Energy attached to this Pokemon, or this attack deals nothing at all. So Lugia EX will be played but only in Plasma decks, which reminds us of the old SP engine based decks. Next we have Cupchew and Beartick. Cupchew has a sweet first attack that states flip a coin. If heads, you deal 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And Beartick also has an interesting first attack. It deals 20 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon, so it can deal 230 damage at best. And to finish off Poké-News, we have another promo card which will be featured in a 1-pack blister from Dragon XL with Lilligant. So people that hunt promos, here's your chance to get another one. And that's it for another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button because you know I always appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then here's your chance. And that way you'll stay updated about everything you need to know about the Pokemon trading card game. Anyway, this was ZapdosTCG. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see y'all next time. Yo!